Down at the bottom of the well, Johnson suddenly sensed something was wrong. He quickly signaled his teammates to dive underwater. Just a second later, a bright searchlight beamed down. They had assumed the soldiers checking the area would leave once they found nothing. But unexpectedly, the troops began firing several rounds into the water just to be safe. Everyone held their breath, frozen in place. Luckily, since there was no movement in the well, the soldiers eventually called off the search and withdrew from the scene. Still, none of them dared to relax. It wasn't until a full 3 minutes had passed in total silence that Johnson finally emerged cautiously to scout the area. Once the coast was clear, the others followed him to the surface. Worried that the enemy might have left someone behind to guard the well, they stayed hidden until daybreak. Only then did they begin their climb. Forming a back-to-back support chain, the three of them slowly inched upward. But after being submerged all night, their bodies were completely drained. Every move took immense effort, and they barely managed to reach the top of the well. Seeing the moment was finally right, Johnson gave the order. The three of them launched upward with all their remaining strength, successfully escaping the 100-meter deep well, barely clinging to life. But just as they caught their breath, the sight before them left them completely stunned. What was once a desert was now littered with corpses. Their fellow soldiers had been ambushed and completely wiped out. Realizing this was all Xantan's doing, Johnson immediately set out for revenge. He took a necklace from one of the bodies and, using the clues left behind, instructed Mary to investigate who had orchestrated the attack. What they never expected was the shocking conclusion Mary uncovered. The attackers were actually part of Xantan's own forces. Even worse, the group had previously worked with Xantan. Clearly, they knew too much. Now, Xantan wanted to silence them for good.